Hello, this is Andrea Lizalde Sanchez, and this is the first video that I'm doing for my children's literature class at MJC, English 169. And I'm kind of nervous. I tried to do the video twice already, and I had some technical difficulties. And before that, I had like all these things planned, like a script and makeup and whatnot, and then I decided, what the heck, this is me. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I wear t-shirts and yoga pants, and I don't wear makeup. I don't even know how to do makeup. Anyway, here goes. So first, I like to talk about my own experience reading as a child. I don't actually remember people reading to me that often, but I do remember there was always books around everywhere I went. In my home we had collections of books with classic condensed stories of Peter Pan, Aladdin, Little Mermaid, things like that. Not the Disney versions though, just the old, I don't know. And then we also had encyclopedias, children's encyclopedias, and we had a lot of adult books as well, and textbooks. At my grandmother's house as well, she had very fancy sets of books that, I mean, we felt weird touching them, but they were there for us. They had other classics like 100 Leagues Under the Sea or Aesop's Fables, things like that. So there were always books around, and there were always people reading around. My uncles and aunts, my parents, my grandparents, everyone read. We saw them reading. There were books in the bathroom. So people around us were very avid readers. And I said us because I have a twin sister, so I refer to me as us usually. So that might be weird for some people, but it's always us. Anyway, and then my mom was doing her master's degree, so we went to the library often. I liked books about fairies and insects when I was little. So, yeah. When I was a teenager also, I read to my little brothers. And now as a parent, I read to my children. I feel like reading has helped me a lot. It helped me cope with difficult situations in life. And it also helped me learn English. As you can tell, I have an accent. English is not my first language. And I immigrated to the United States when I was 15 years old, and I did not speak English. And during the summer, I was really into the Harry Potter books, and the 6th book came out, and it came out first in English, and it was going to take like 6 or 9 months to come out in Spanish. So I was impatient, and I grabbed the book, I bought the book, I got a Spanish-English dictionary, and I had like sheets of like frequently used words that I would do, and I just read the whole thing. And then after that I read the Chronicles of Narnia. So that helped me build my English vocabulary and my confidence to actually speak English once I enter sophomore year in high school here. Also, the value of reading to children. I'm a big supporter of reading to children. I read to my children every night, 15-20 minutes. They love it. It's part of our bedtime routine. Like I said, I used to read to my brothers. I gift people books, like kids books for parties and everything. I know reading to children helps them learn how to read. It helps them with their critical thinking skills. It helps their creativity. It's a bonding experience between, parents and children. It just helps them so much. Builds their confidence with academics. It's just great. And then you can find books that they're interested on, and they just get excited about it. It's just awesome. If you're around kids, you have nephews, nieces, books. Read books to them. Buy books for them. It's awesome. The next topic that we have to talk about is the origins of children's literature. In the historical, domestic, and specific symbolic origins, I believe that the chapters that we read go along with things I already had in my mind when it comes to children literature, the origins of it. It talks about different aspects. It talks about the economic aspect of it, like children's literature surfaced as means to make money for a lot of booksellers, because there was a market, so they started making children's books. Now it's a huge business, it's a huge industry. So that's important to know when it comes to where it came from. Why are there kids' books? The domestic. When it talks about the domestic, I believe it refers to the aspect of motherhood, as well as books originating in the home, as parents making the books for their own children. I am a parent, and I do art, and I like illustration, so, and I have children, so making a book for my children will be like a labor of love, and it will be something as well I want to share with the world, and I want it to be educational. So I see where that aspect comes from, and I also see in the feminist side how it's something that they used to, as in the book says, to excuse their intrusion into a sphere that used to be domestic and guided by the woman, and bringing it into the public sphere of, the economics, and selling and buying. Also, what else? If you think about it economically, and then you think about it sociologically, I guess in a way you have to think about it anthropologically as well. I believe storytelling has always been a big part of child rearing, even before we had the concept of childhood, or written text. There's always been stories told to explain theology, to give morality tales and cautionary tales. So I guess in a way it was obvious, or it was the path that it was going to take, was for children to have books for themselves as well. Like it talks about the first ones were religious in nature, and then from there it became more widely associated with education and entertainment, and now we have all sorts of different kinds of books. Nursery rhymes and child literacy. I believe rhyming in itself, it's very important for children because it helps them learn how to read. It has repetition, it has phonics, and those are very important aspects of learning how to read. So that is very important. But when it comes to nursery rhymes, it's so much more than just the rhyming itself. It's a cultural thing. It's a childhood thing. I wasn't familiar with the Mother Goose rhymes. There's Mexican rhymes that we have that kids used to play in the like hopscotch and games like that. And they were also translated into books some of the time. So I see the similarities in between, even with two different cultures. We had nursery rhymes in Mexico. We had songs as well. When I came to the United States and started getting involved in the culture, then I started knowing a little bit from TV and movies and other stuff about Mother Goose rhymes. I never really got immersed on them as much as now that I read them for this class. My first impression was that they were very classist, and some of them were anti-Semitic, obviously. But I saw them as negative at first, but then I started thinking about all the lectures, and they do reflect the society of the time when they were written, I suppose. And I guess they're like memes. You have to have the social background and to really understand them and value them, as well as the cultural aspect of it. And I know it's a bad analogy. Sorry. So yes, that was my first experience with Mother Goose. There were some that I did like a lot, and that I found curious. The bird ones, where they give human characteristics to the birds, they get married and whatnot. Those were very cute, very tragic though for children. I can totally tell kids will ask a lot of questions nowadays with those, especially my kids. Also, I do have a library card, and I do take my children to the library often, but I guess I would more now. I am an avid thrifter, and this is my daughter's room. I have two daughters, a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, and we're all big book lovers. This is not even all their collection. There's more everywhere. So thrift stores is where I get most of the books. So I would be on the lookout for the books for this class. I've been trying to get into this class for 3 semesters now, so finally. And I don't really need it for my transfer requirement. I'm done with that. I just need math. But I wanted to take it because it just makes sense. I'm a mother, we love books, and also because I do want to write and illustrate a children's book in the future, so I thought this class would be helpful in that manner. I want to understand children literature to be able to do it better, and also I want to find new books that are good books for my children. Sometimes it's kind of hard to find good books. So that's why I'm taking this class, and I'm actually looking forward to meeting all of you and working with you and learning about you, why you guys like the books, what you liked about them. The books for the class look very, very interesting, so I'm looking forward to that. I hope I'm not missing anything. Rhymes, literacy. Yeah, I think that will be it. And thank you very much. Oh, also, since I have 2 daughters, they might be popping up in my future videos, or there might be in the background noise. So sometimes I will try to retake the video or edit it, but sometimes I'll just leave it like that. I mean, this is me. Thank you very much.